40% increase. I always wanted a thing called tuna sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Tony here. This time I want to do a video and showing you how to clean your game cartridges. I've seen lots of videos online of people cleaning game cartridges using all sorts of things, from abrasive cleaners, pieces of sandpaper, down to like rubbers, which okay, but anyway, this is the way I clean them and I find it the best way of doing it. All you need to do is get yourself some earbuds. Don't have to be Johnson's, but you know, standard earbuds. And then you need to find yourself some isopropyl alcohol. This one is 99.9%. This is basically just pure alcohol. All this does is wicked for cleaning. You can use it for cleaning all sorts of things, and it'll just evaporate into nothing. Put this on the floor because I don't want to spill it. And like I said, these are some game cartridges I've just had in from Japan. I don't know if you can see in there because I ain't got much light in this situation, unfortunately. You can see they've got the game cartridge. So what I'll do is, the best way of doing it is just dip your cotton bud in the alcohol and then pick the cartridge up and then basically just rub it along the contacts. And what you'll find is the cotton wool bud is just abrasive enough to take all the dirt off your cartridges without doing any damage at all. So you can just give them a good rub across there. And then what you'll probably see, as you can see, all the dirt and crap that's come off there. So what I'll do, turn it over now. We'll rub the other side. And I find this the best method of doing it. You know, it's not abrasive enough to hurt the actual the pinouts on the cartridge slot, on the cartridge itself. Sorry. You just do that. All you can see now is that's the crap. If I focus the camera, which I can't focus it for some reason. If I put my hand behind it, yeah, you can see all the crap that's come off the inside of that cartridge. And when you actually look at it, say you can't actually see the pins. I get a light in it. If I shine the light, you might be able to see on the inside of the cartridges. So you can see the pins. Well, you can't really see it, but the pins are really nice and shiny. And that cartridge should work perfect now. You shouldn't have any problems with that cartridge at all. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and clean some of the other ones I've got out as well. And this is what I do to all my game cartridges. As soon as I have them in the post, I use this method on them all. You say you got to put a bit of pressure on it. Oh, this one's pretty dirty as well. And you will be surprised how much gunk and crap you got off it. And if you use these and chuck them in your cartridge slot on your console, your cartridge slot is going to pick up all this dirt and crap, and you're going to start getting problems with picking up cartridges. Right, this one is skanking, as you can see. This one is hanging. So I'm going to use the other end and give it another clean again. I say with that alcohol as well, it basically evaporates into nothing. It doesn't leave any marks or anything like that on the cartridges. And it's pretty much perfect for cleaning them. Yeah, you can see how much crap the second end is taken off as well. I don't know if you can see it. And then that's pretty much. And this cartridge will be nice and clean. Oh, basically. The other thing you can do with these as well is you sometimes get, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it if I zoom it in. You can see the dirt in between the Bandai logo, and then you can use the Q-tip for them as well. Seems the label's quite nice on this, and the back label obviously is a bit junked up, like. But what you can do as well, you can get like a soft rag. You can tip some of the alcohol on the soft rag, and then you can use this then for cleaning the actual cartridge itself. And this method will literally take off. You can even go over the labels. This method will take a lot of the dirt off the cartridges. Yeah, see, it'll take a lot of dirt off the actual cartridges themselves, which will leave you with cleaner cartridges. I say I could use the Q-tip to actually get inside the logo there and do it that way. But so I say you will see it noticeably cleaner. But it won't. What I find is it won't take everything off. But I've got another tip for that. If you've got a particularly dirty cartridge, this will work with anything plastic related. Your games consoles, anything like that. There is a cleaning stuff you can get, which will literally, you've got to be careful with, right? Because it'll strip logos and stuff. It'll also strip, they say something's written on them in permanent pen or anything like that. It'll just strip it all off. What you need to do is buy yourself some of this. It's basically foam cleaner, and what it'll do, it'll foam up, and it's fantastic at cleaning stuff, cleaning consoles. Now it'll take, you know, some consoles that get a bit sort of brown, not the yellowing after time, but just a brown over time with a bit of dirt on them and that. And this stuff will just strip it off. So it just basically just give it a shake. I'll try not to get it on the logo because it might strip the logo off. Basically, spray a bit of this stuff up. As you see, it goes foamy, and then you just get a cloth, and then you just basically rub. Tell you what, that's doing a fantastic job of this. You basically just rub this foam into it, and do that, and that has brought that up almost new. I don't know whether you can see this properly. It might not be able to show in the video. On the left hand side you see like the browner area by here, and I've just literally just stripped all that dirt off using that foam. Like, it's a bit hard to compare on here. You can see the bottom bit. Say with the camera, it's a bit hard to pick it up. I'll spray a bit on the bottom. You just spray it on. Oh yeah. And this stuff, I'll clean the side bit of it. This stuff just strips dirt off. I wouldn't use it on the contacts, and I would avoid using it on labels. Now that plastic now almost looks brand new. They just stripped all the dirt on it, which has obviously sat on it for years. Yeah. You can see with the light, it looks almost brand new now. I don't know if I can do a bit of a compared to the front. As you see, the front is quite dull looking. It's where the dirt is actually on the front, and then on the back you see how nice and shiny new. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and do the front as well. I say this spray is pretty cheap. This spray is pretty cheap. It's literally about £5-6 for the can, and the can will last you ages. But I would avoid labels with it. If you want to strip, you know, the inherent dirt you actually get on stuff over years of just being laying about. I say it's great for taking off permanent pen and everything. Now this cartridge looks almost brand new now. Like I say, I've seen various videos of people saying that various techniques for cleaning things, but I found that this works the best. Right, I don't know if you can see us now. I don't know whether you can pick it up, guys, in that video, but that front of the cartridge looks almost brand new now. All the dirt has come out of it. A lot of the dirt inside the Bandai logo is actually gone. The sides I haven't cleaned quite so well, and you can still see some of the dirt on them. But now that cartridge looks pretty fantastic. If I had sprayed a little bit more on the sides, and that's what that cleaner stuff does. It takes off a hell of a lot of dirt and crap. Put that down. I say this stuff can also be used. It can be used on consoles. It can be used on anything really. It's got dirt grime on it, and it'll just strip the grime off everything. It's really good stuff. Like a lot of people use it for cleaning computers, but it's anti-static foam. It's really good stuff. Right, that's the one bit. My other tip I got. When you got the cartridges, you got your game cartridges. Obviously you got your game cartridge. Your consoles, the cartridge slots get dirty over time, and sometimes you get problem picking up. The best thing I found for cleaning these is another one of these Q-tips. It won't fit in the cartridge slot, so what you do is you get like the end of a screwdriver or something, and if you bang the end of this Q-tip flat, which I don't know if I can do off camera, is it? Not having anything handy to do it. What you do is, you bang the end of this Q-tip flat, you dip it in the isopropyl alcohol, I can't remember the name of it then, and this will actually fit inside any cartridge slot. So you can basically push it in and out of the slot like this, like so, and it'll take up all the dirt from a cartridge slot of a console. I've used it on all my consoles, and it's the easiest thing I found for cleaning them. I've used it on my NES, my Mega Drive, my Famicom, you know, my SNES, everything. And you'd be surprised how much dirt comes out of your cartridge slots using this method. So you just basically bang the end of that tip down so it's flat, and then it will actually fit inside a cartridge slot. So that's a handy tip as for cleaning. Right then. The other thing I got, this is a shitty cartridge. This is a shitty broke cartridge. So guys, you can see they got the label on it, which I don't want on there anyway. And you can see sometimes you've got cartridges where they've had sticky tape on them, so you get that sticky residue, which is quite hard to get off. You can use the isopropyl alcohol and the other cleaning solution. It should get most of this off. Same on the other side, you can see it's got this cartridge don't work anyway, so as you can see it's got like sellotape on it. You can see pick bits of it off. But there is something you can get for this, which is another thing I keep sort of handy around the house as well, is sticky stuff removing gel. What this will do, it'll basically, anything sticky, labels, sticky paint, even does chewing gum out of hair, and it'll take chewing gum off your clothes as well, which is handy. You just rub it with this stuff and it'll just basically, the chewing gum will just basically fall apart and come off. And this is fantastic. This will also take off permanent pen as well. But with this stuff, you just basically, you spray a bit of it on there. You spray a bit of it on the actual sticky stuff itself. You can get this, I got another form of this, it's in like a squirty bottle, which is pretty much the same stuff. So you just basically let that sit, and the longer you leave it sit, the better. And then what you should be able to do, I don't know if you can see this, if I rub it now, so I've left it sit for a couple of minutes. They say the longer you let it sit, the better. So if you've got something that's really stuck on there, the longer you leave it, the better. Right. as you can see now, it's pretty much almost taken all of it off. They say I never squirted that stuff, but you know, and there's a little bit of it left. I never squirted that stuff on this cartridge, and it'll actually take it off. So what I'll do, just because, well, the label's crap anyway and the cartridge don't work, so I'll just spray it on the label. If I leave it on the side for 5. The other one I got as well, you can use on kitchen floor tiles as well. If you stick them down on your kitchen and then you pick them back up, and they leave sticky marks everywhere, you can use it for that as well. While that's sort of sinking into the label, I'll show you one other thing. This is my Sonic 3 cartridge. As you can see, you know, pretty nice. I cleaned this, pre-cleaned this all. I'm not quite sure how this is going to come out. As you can see, the cartridge is pretty dull looking. It's a bit hard to tell in this light, to be honest, but it's pretty dull looking and it looks a bit rough. What I found is you can clean the consoles. If you want to get your console shining, a lot of people use a bit of polish on them or whatever, which does the job, I suppose. There's two other things you can use. You can use WD-40. If you've got a console, a black console, that's scuffed up and just looks pretty nasty, you can spray a bit of WD-40 on it and then rub that WD-40 into the plastic, and your console will basically come up shining and almost looking like new. Or the other thing I found is pretty much designed for it anyway, is a car interior shine. Just your basic, you know, car pride or whatever stuff, back to black or whatever, same stuff basically, and just use that. So if I spray with this on this cartridge, and you'd be surprised how well this stuff actually works. If you just rub that into your cartridge, probably works on the same principles as WD-40. It puts like a oily film or whatever actually on the cartridge itself, you know. I'll spray a bit in the back as well while I'm at it. I say everyone's got their own sort of ideas and the best way to clean your consoles and all that, but I found, you know, a few little things you can have around the house seem to work fantastic, and this stuff works quite nice on the labels as well. And that, I don't know, you probably can't see the difference, but that's got a lot more shinier. You can see down the bottom strip as well, that was looking quite dull in the last time I showed you it, but it's got a lot shinier. You can see it's really shinier and it feels a lot smoother to hand. That's obviously because it's put in the slightly oily film over the top of it. If I say WD-40, a tiny little spray WD-40 on the end of a rag and rub it in, will do exactly the same thing. And that's the cartridge. Really, as I drop it, really nice and shiny. So pretty cool. So that's that. One thing, we'll come back to this label. We've left it for a little while, so I'll have a look and see how well this is taking this label off. Like I say, you may need to get a palette knife or something. As you can see, the label is starting to lose its stickiness. Now the corner bits all come off. I say the longer you leave this stuff, if you've got a label that's on there for, you know, it's quite thick. If you leave it on there for like 20 minutes or whatever with this stuff, it'll just soak straight into the label and take it off. You can actually get a label remover as well that smells like lemons and oranges, which pretty much that's what he uses. He uses lemon oil to actually get the labels and everything off. But I don't know if you can see, without actually scraping this label, I've literally managed to rub a lot of the excess paper that was ripped off all around the sides. And the label, you can feel, is starting to lose its stickiness. I can literally just peel it off my finger now. you're going to peel it off. Like I said, the longer you leave it, the better with stuff, and it will actually soak into this label. It will just literally come off. I did my joystick the other day. I put felt underneath it to stop it moving, and I wanted to take that off to use the neoprene, which is the best stuff I found for it. So what I did is I took the bottom of my joystick off, I sprayed it with this stuff, quite considerable amount of it, and left it in a tray for half an hour. And like the actual felt itself would have been a nightmare to get off. So I left it for half an hour, and literally I come back to it and I just picked the one corner and peeled it all off in one go. So that's the label removing stuff. It will actually take this off if you leave it, like. So anyway guys, that's this quick... Oh, I have one more tip actually before I go. Right then. This is an open cartridge, something I changed for my EverDrive. I can't remember what it is. I think it's Jurassic Park. Sometimes you'll clean these cartridge pins and they'll be so dirty, and they'll be oxidized on the surface and everything, and it doesn't matter how much you clean it, you'll never get the cartridges to work. And at a last resort, I'd only use this tip as a last resort, mind, guys. Let me see if I can focus a little bit better on this. At the last resort, I would use one of these, which is a fiberglass pen. Basically, you can, I don't know if you can see on the end, if you move that, it's got little strips of fiberglass actually in the end of the pen. What this is used for is for rubbing off the coating off the top of circuit boards to get to the actual copper underneath. What you can do this is, say, only at the last resort, if you get one of these ends by here and you rub these fiberglass pens actually on the actual contact itself. I don't know if you can let's see if I can get it to zoom in a bit. So the problem is, getting it to zoom is a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, what you do, if you rub these actually on the contacts, rub this little pen, what this little pen will do, will scrape a top layer. Let's see if I can get this to, that's it. What this pen will do, will scrape a top layer of this copper off and reveal really nice and shiny copper underneath. I say I don't use it as the last resort, man, because it does actually strip the top of the copper off. And this will actually get your cartridges working again. I've had probably about 4 or 5 cartridges that I've bought. I've done extensive cleaning to them and I can't get them to work, so I've taken the actual cartridge apart and used a fiberglass pen actually on these pins all the way down here and scraped the pins with this thing, and the cartridge will come back to life and work. So only a last resort, guys, but a fiberglass pen is wicked for stripping the top off copper. Also handy to have if you're doing any modding or whatever, you need to get to the traces underneath the circuit board. You can use this stuff to scrape the sealant off the top. So anyway guys, I hope this video was a little bit interesting. This is what I use to clean my cartridges, and for me it works. I keep all my cartridges in nice new nick, and I don't ever plug any of them in my console before I've cleaned them, so at least I keep my console slot clean. And like I said before, guys, if you want to clean a console slot, just get one of these, bash it flat, dip it in some isopropyl alcohol, and just stick it in and out of the cartridge slot, and it will clean all the crap off your cartridge slot. So no need to go out and try and find yourself extensive cartridge slot cleaners, which can cost silly money now these days. You can just use one of them, which are they're just pennies to buy. So anyway guys, hope that was interesting. I'll catch you in the next video.